Be me, 34F, Chief People Officer for Meridian Motor Holdings. We run high-end dealerships, moving Ferraris, Bentleys, and Range Rovers to startup guys in sneakers who wander in and impulse buy $170,000 toys, make $197,000, full benefits, and get a leased Audi. That management calls a perk, and I call rolling propaganda. Have a master's in cultural studies and labor relations. Wrote my graduate thesis on the auto shop as a masculinized performance zone, unpacking the false binary between mechanic and machine. People say I work in HR. I say I am an embedded field researcher inside a hostile tribe. My job is not paperwork. My job is moral intervention. I am here to drag the barbarians of capitalism one in closer to civilization. Single, obviously. Dating is just branding with appetizers. Live alone in a severe concrete condo that looks like a parking garage with expensive lighting. Everything in my place is white, charcoal, or matte black. One piece of art on the wall. Framed print of a single blue slash across an empty background. It symbolizes boundaries, specifically mine. Alarm goes off at 5:30 every morning, not for cardio, for alignment. I sit in silence, set intentions, drink hot water with lemon and ginger, then read 3 separate news feeds so I can properly season myself with righteous irritation. Before work, my life is a bunker built out of solitude and self-discipline. Then I go to work. Meridian is a rolling nightmare of weaponized masculinity, wrapped in quilted leather and brushed aluminum. Main showroom looks like a church for rich idiots. Glass everywhere, steel everywhere. Smells like tire dressing, espresso, and cologne that costs more than groceries. My office is upstairs with a full view of the floor. The tower, the sales team calls it. The lighthouse when they want to be cute. The ivory prison when they want to be annoying. From up there, I can see all of it. Salesmen, about 90% male, circling customers like sharks smelling blood. Service bay, fully male. Hammering and shouting in the back like an industrial daycare. Constant noise. Engines revving, metal clanging, laughing too loud. High fives cracking through the air like little fireworks of regression. My sensory processing issues hate every second of it. I tolerate it because this is the front line. And then there is him, the enemy. His name is Vince, general manager of the Ferrari store, late 50s, silver haircut too perfectly, spray tan, face suits. So expensive they probably have their own zip code calls. Everybody sport or kid or chief refuses to touch the HR platform I rolled out. Still keeps customer info on handwritten cards in a spinning desktop file, like it's 1987. Brings in over half the group's profit by himself. Because of that, the owner, Mr. Calloway, treats him like a war hero. Vince is the plague of my professional life. What makes him dangerous is not that he's openly cruel, it's that he's likable. The most toxic men always are. He opens doors, asks how my weekend was, which is just forced intimacy with a smile. Buys lunch for the floor every Friday, basically laundering control into generosity. I have an entire folder on him, almost 4 inches thick. Nothing ever sticks. He knows exactly where the line is, and he tap dances on top of it like he's in a black and white movie. Tuesday morning, the ritual walk-in at 8:40. Showroom already humming. Vince is parked at the espresso counter, holding court like some tanned little king. He spots me immediately. "Morning, Harper," he says. "Look at you, serious jacket today. Somebody should be nervous." Comment on my clothes, frame my authority as threatening, but cute. I push my glasses up and keep my voice flat. "Good morning, Vince. It's a blazer. I have a meeting with service about the revised empathy training modules." He chuckles. "Right, the empathy stuff. Guys in the shop are loving that. Nothing says horsepower like sharing feelings." Sarcasm. Direct shot at an active company initiative. I can feel heat crawl up my neck. Emotional literacy reduces incidents and improves workplace safety, Vince. Sure. Then he leans on the counter. You want a cappuccino? Louis just made a fresh round. No, thank you. I don't do dairy. We got oat, we got almond, we got all the fancy stuff. I'm good. I walk off. Can feel him watching me go. Not predatory. Worse. Amused. He thinks I'm funny. He thinks my position is a decorative compliance ornament. He thinks because he moves cars that go 210 miles per hour, he is somehow above consequence. I get upstairs, shut the office door, switch on my white noise machine, ocean waves. This time I sit down and breathe. He is just a man. I am the future. 11 a.m. The spark email from Megan. Megan is new, 25F, smart, polished, ambitious. Came from luxury cosmetics retail, only woman on the Ferrari floor. I hired her on purpose to crack the boys' club ecosystem from the inside. Subject line says, not sure how to handle something. Open. It immediately pulse jumps. This is it. Finally. I tell her to come upstairs. She walks in looking tense, wearing the company polo, but she tied the back so it actually fits her body. I internally note the uniform alteration, let it go, because larger battles matter more. Sit down, Megan. This is a protected space. Tell me what happened. She twists a ring on her hand. It was Vince and a customer, Mr. Park. Go on, start at the beginning. I open my legal pad. She says Mr. Park was looking at the Ferrari Roma. She was walking him through the specs. I know the specs, Harper. I memorized all of them this weekend. I know you do. You're prepared. But he kept looking at Vince instead of me. Then Vince walked over and put his hand on my shoulder. Physical contact without invitation. I write it down. Touch shoulder uninvited. Then what? He told Mr. Park, Megan's great with interior packages and trim options, but let me step in when it comes to the numbers. I actually gasp, full inhale. No shame, reduced a trained salesperson to colors and upholstery. Implied she can discuss aesthetics, but not money or mechanics. Publicly diminished her competence in front of a buyer. Then she keeps going. And then he winked at me and said, "Why don't you grab us a cup of water, sweetheart? Work some magic on the coffee guy while you're at it. Sweetheart, work some magic. Go fetch refreshments." 3 hits in 1 sentence. Servant, ornament, mascot. I am vibrating with fury. I look her dead in the eyes. How did that make you feel? Honestly, mad, embarrassed. I wanted that sale. Commission on that would have been like $3,500. It's not just about the money, Megan. It's about professional erasure. It's economic violence tied to gender performance. She blinks. I mean, I mostly wanted the deal. We're going to address this properly. I'm filing a formal report. She goes pale. Wait, please don't make it huge. Vince is powerful here. If I complain, the other sales guys will freeze me out. That would be retaliation, which is also illegal. I know, but that's still what will happen. Trust me, Megan. My job is to protect you. She leaves still looking worried. I sit alone in my office for almost an hour, staring at the blue slash print on my wall. I already know the script. I take this to Callaway. Callaway calls Vince in. Vince says he was just helping close an old school client. Callaway tells me culture in sales is different. Then nothing happens. I need more. I need proof. So overwhelming nobody can shrug it off. Not one incident, a whole organism. A system designed to push women out and call it tradition. Wednesday, the slide into obsession. I spend the day observing, stand at my window and watch the floor like a prison guard with a sociology degree. See Vince laughing with the finance director, Dale, both bent over a phone, probably rating female customers like livestock. Then they look up toward my office. Vince gives me this fake little salute. He knows I'm watching. He wants me to know. He knows cold knot in my stomach. They're talking about me. I can feel it. The whole floor radiates this low, ugly frequency. Resentment with cologne on top. I walk through service. Conversation stops. The second I step inside, air tools go quiet. Someone drops a wrench. Clang. It hits the concrete so loud in the sudden silence, it sounds like a shot. "Afternoon, Ms." "Harper," says the service manager, voice flat as drywall, surface compliance, subterranean contempt. I do my inspection. Safety posters still up. Good. Then I see someone has drawn a little mustache on the gender-neutral person in the Respect at Work poster. Tampering, mockery, ideological vandalism. I take a photo on my phone for documentation. Go back upstairs, shut the door. Feel the isolation settle over me like static. I'm alone. Completely alone inside a building full of enemies with company email addresses. I need ears where I do not have eyes. I need to know what they say. When I'm not in the room, open my laptop, not on company Wi-Fi, use my personal hotspot. Search surveillance equipment. End up on a site called Echo Sentinel. Start reading about long-range audio devices marketed for home security and childcare. Find one called the Whisper Vault. Mini, magnetic, voice-activated, Wi-Fi enabled, cloud uploads, tiny enough to hide almost anywhere. Comes with auto-transcription, powered by AI. Pack of 6 costs $1,350. I stare at the screen, hesitate. Is this ethical? Then I think about Megan, about interior trim and sweetheart and go get waters, about the little mustache on the poster, about all the laughing when I walk by. This is a war. You do not win wars with polite memos. The patriarchy does not limit itself to approved channels. Why should I? I add them to cart, use my personal Amex, ship them to my condo, feel a little rush shoot through me as I hit submit. Pure dopamine, finally taking back control. Package lands Friday. I spend the entire weekend learning the system, read every manual twice. Test one in my condo, hide it near the litter area, even though I don't even like my cat that much. It picks up everything. The hum of the AC, the click of the fridge, me sighing in the kitchen. The transcript appears automatically in the app. This is perfect. This is not surveillance. This is evidence collection. This is infrastructure for justice. I name the whole thing Project Window Breaker. Make an encrypted folder on my personal laptop. Buy a cheap prepaid phone to run the app. I am becoming smoke. I am becoming the thing they never see coming. Monday night, stay late. Tell the cleaning staff I have payroll discrepancies to fix. Wait until after 9 o'clock. Showroom dark and hollow, cars sitting under low security lights like sleeping predators. I have master access. I'm HR. Access is what my job is made of. Start with Vince's office. Mahogany desk, leather guest chairs, small humidor, fake framed racing poster pretending to be tasteful. I stick one recorder under the lip of his desk where his knees won't hit it. Place another inside the decorative plan in the corner behind the ceramic pot. Move to finance, glass box where they turn paperwork into blood sport. Slide one under the printer stand, then service break room, real heart of the infection. Metal lockers, grease on everything. Old magazines, microwave that looks like it lost a fight. Being in there makes my skin crawl. I set one on top of the vending machine and shove it all the way to the back. Last device, men's locker room. I stop at the doorway for a second. Ask myself if this crosses a line, then answer myself immediately. Privacy is a luxury usually weaponized by people already protected by power. If they are not doing anything wrong, why should they care? I stick the device behind the paper towel dispenser. Walk out fast. Leave the building with my pulse hammering at my throat. Feel like I just planted explosives, truth. Explosives. Drive home in total silence. Open the app in the parking garage. 5 little green lights active. I smile. I am the tower now. Tuesday harvest. Day 1. Cannot focus on a single legitimate task. Burner phone in my desk drawer buzzing every few minutes. Audio detected device 1. Audio detected device 4. I want to listen live so badly it hurts. Don't risk it. Wait until night. Watch Vince work the showroom, laughing with some customer in a Patagonia vest. Claps the guy in the back like they served together in some imaginary war. All of it is masculinity theater. But tonight, I am going to hear the backstage version. Rest of the day crawls by. Sit through a benefits meeting about 401k enrollment and hear absolutely none of it. All I can think about is the data, the unfiltered stream, the truth they don't know they've donated to me. Tuesday night, home, Thai takeout going cold beside me. Laptop open, headphones on. I start with Vince's office file. 19:12 a.m. Sound of a cup on wood. Vince says GTB allocation hits next month. Dale from finance says we already got buyers lined up. Vince says add 50 grand over sticker. Anybody serious will pay the idiot tax. Dale laughs. Savage. Vince says not savage, market conditions. Then pause. Then Dale says, see Harper this morning? Looked like she'd bitten into battery acid. My breathing catches. Here we go. Vince says, she's under pressure. Owner's on her about turnover. Dale says, she's a buzzkill. I made one joke about rates and got a TED Talk on predatory lending. Vince says, she means well. She's just too academic. Doesn't understand how the game works down here. You can't move a Ferrari with a dissertation. Dale says, woman needs a hobby. Vince cuts in. Take it easy. Don't be that guy. She just needs a win. Needs to feel like she's with us, not above us. Maybe invite her to the track event next month. I pause the audio, stare at the waveform. This isn't what I was expecting. Vince defended me, except not really. He patronized me. Needs a win. Needs to feel included. He sees me like some lonely charity project in slacks. And Dale's hobby comment? Absolutely hostile. You do not need the target present for the culture to still be toxic. I open my spreadsheet, log every piece. 9:15, Speaker Dale. Violation. Derogatory commentary about executive colleague. 9:16. Speaker Vince violation condescension, disguised as empathy, benevolent sexism. Then I switch to the service break room. This one I know will be worse. File. 11 o'clock lunchtime. Microwave beep. Voices. 2 mechanics, Ray and Joey. Ray says, that new lift sucks. Stuck on me twice today. Joey says, tell the Empress upstairs. Maybe she'll draft a feelings form for it. Ray laughs. Harper wouldn't know a lift from a lipstick. Both laughing, Joey says, she walked through here yesterday looking like the room smelled dead. Ray says, she hates us. You can see it. That college face. Joey says, that looked like she read books, and now we're all beneath her. Ray says, whatever, as long as the paycheck lands. Then Joey goes, you see the blonde up front, new sales girl? Ray says, Megan? Yeah, she's gorgeous, way out of our tax bracket. Joey says, no such thing as leagues, man. Best scenery in the building. I'd sign bad paperwork just to have her grin at me. Ray says, calm down. She has that prep school energy. She's not going for dudes who smell like brake fluid. Joey says, I'm just saying she shouldn't be selling the cars. Should be draped over one for promo shots. She's distracting. My stomach flips. There it is. Professional woman reduced to decoration. Again. Appearance framed as workplace disruption. Educational resentment mixed in for flavor. I start typing so hard my keyboard chatters. Speaker Joey, violation sexual objectification proposal to replace professional function with visual display. Speaker Ray violation, class-coded stereotyping, socioeconomic contempt. I listen for 4 straight hours, drink half a bottle of wine while I do it. Every file feels like confirmation. They resent me. They mock my education. They reduce every woman in the building to a prop. By midnight, I feel almost peaceful, vindicated. This isn't anxiety. This is pattern recognition. I was never paranoid. I was observant. Week 2. I leave the devices in place. By this point, the listening stops feeling like a tactic and starts feeling like oxygen. I know things now. Small things. Private things. I know Vince is panicking about his daughter's college tuition. I know Dale is sneaking donuts in the supply closet while telling everybody he's keto. I know the mechanics are doing side work using company tools. After hours, the knowledge changes the texture of everything. I feel enormous. I walk through the showroom with a tiny, secret smile. I look at Vince and think, I know your cardiologist moved your appointment to Thursday. I know you wake up at 3 a.m. and check tuition portals. Information is power, and now I have all of it. I start baiting them. Send out a memo about misuse of company tools, just to see who twitches. That night, I pull the recording service break room. Ray says, "You see this email? How the hell does she know about side jobs?" Joey says, "She's some kind of witch, man. Bet she's got cameras everywhere." Ray says, "Maybe somebody ratted." Joey says, "If I find out who ratted, they're going to need collision repair." I sit upright. That is a threat log. It instantly potential workplace violence level 1 intimidation. At this point, I'm not reading reality anymore. I'm curating it. Everything becomes evidence. Every joke a symptom. Every pause a conspiracy. Even breathing near me starts to feel hostile. Then Friday of week 2, the locker room files. The one set I dread and crave at the same time. File 86540 p.m. Shower noise in background. For 1 second, I wonder if Vince is in there. He isn't. He goes to some executive fitness club downtown. It's Dale and a salesperson named Connor. Dale says, HR situation is getting ridiculous. Connor says, "Bro, she's insane. She wrote me up for calling a car sexy." Dale says, "I heard Callaway might be replacing her." My heart literally stalls. Replacing me. Connor says, "Seriously? Thank God. She drains all the oxygen out of her room." Dale says, "They gotta be careful. She's the kind who sues. Bet she has a manifesto in her desk." Connor laughs. "She's a psycho. Probably watches us on the security cams." Dale says, "Let her watch. Maybe she'd finally see what actual work looks like." That's it. That's the center of it. They are already positioning me for removal, plotting with ownership, painting me unstable to neutralize future complaints, retaliation, constructive dismissal, coordinated reputational sabotage. I cannot wait any longer. I have around 200 hours of audio, a 60-page internal report. Monday morning, I ask for an emergency meeting with Mr. Callaway and outside counsel Miss Franklin. Miss Franklin is brutal in the best way, all sharp suits and surgical diction. I assume she will appreciate rigor. 10 a.m. Executive Conference Room. Callaway looks irritated before I even sit down, checking his watch. "Make it quick, Harper. I've got a tea time." What I'm about to present requires your full attention. I slide the binder across the table. Title page says, Meridian Culture and Risk Audit. It lands with a satisfying thud. I have uncovered a network of harassment, theft, and insubordination that materially threatens this company.
Calloway flips pages.
Theft. Who's stealing? Service staff using company equipment for personal side work. Section 4. Ms. Franklin turns a page.
And harassment?
Pervasive. Gendered comments, threats, internal efforts to remove an executive through hostile conduct.
Calloway stops on a quote, reads aloud.
She drains all the oxygen out of a room.
Then another.
If I find out who ratted, they're going to need collision repair.
He looks up.
Where exactly did you get these quotes? Ms. Franklin taps another line with one red nail. These are very precise. I straighten in my chair. I have audio supporting every single statement.
Calloway frowns.
Audio? They left you voicemails? No, I recorded them. Ms. Franklin freezes, slowly closes the binder, looks at me over her glasses. Voice very calm. Harper, tell me what you mean by recorded. I placed voice-activated monitoring devices in key workplace areas, offices, break rooms, locker room. Silence. Real silence, so complete, it feels like the room lost air pressure. Calloway's face changes color in real time. Annoyed pink to full cardiac purple. You bugged my dealerships? I monitored the workplace for compliance, I say, because words still matter, even if men don't respect them. I am the chief people officer. I have a duty to know what is happening. Miss Franklin stands up so fast, her chair jerks back. She's shaking, not scared, furious. You put a recorder in the locker room? Yes, that was where the worst conversations were likely to happen. You recorded employees while they were changing. I wasn't watching. It's audio only. She slams both hands on the table. That does not matter. Now she's shouting. Do you have any idea what you've done? Invasion of privacy, illegal interception. You placed a device in a locker room. A locker room. I blink at her. But the harassment was systemic. The law does not care about your theory language, she snaps. You have exposed this company to catastrophic liability. If those employees find out you recorded them in a private changing area, they will own this business. They will own you. Calloway is breathing too fast. Get the devices right now. Where are they? I whisper, they're still active. He puts both hands over his face. Jesus Christ. Miss Franklin is already pulling out her phone. We have to self-report immediately before an employee discovers one first. We distance the company from this now, or we all drown. You can't do that, I say. I'm the whistleblower here. She turns on me so hard it almost feels physical. No, you are not a whistleblower. You are the offender. 11:30 a.m. Police show up. Not one cruiser, 3, because Ms. Franklin told them there were active illegal recording devices inside sensitive areas. They treat the building like there might be explosives hidden in the walls. Officers sweep through the showroom, customers staring, sales staff freezing mid-sentence. Vince steps out of his office. What the hell is this? Lead officer walks directly to me. Harper Collins? Yes. You are under arrest for unlawful interception of communications and invasion of privacy. He cuffs me right there in the middle of the showroom, between a Ferrari and a Bentley, in front of everyone, in front of Megan. She stares at me, not grateful, not impressed, horrified. Harper, you were recording us? I did it for you, I say, to catch Vince. Vince steps closer, looks at the officer. Recording us how? Officer says, apparently everything, including a locker room. Vince's face changes for the first time since I've known him. The charm drops completely. What's left underneath is pure disgust. You sick freak, he says. I twist against the officer. I was fighting for workplace equity. Nobody cares. Service techs start pouring out from the back. Ray, Joey, others, they see the evidence bags, see the cuffs, put it together. instantly start yelling.
Lock her up. Nutcase. Psycho lady.
They shove me into the back of a police car. Smells like old vomit and hot plastic. Through the glass, I can see Calloway up in my office window. The tower. My tower. He's on the phone. Already probably insurance. Probably crisis PR. I spend 48 hours in county. Orange jumpsuit. Hideous. Not severe, not minimalist, just itchy polyester and humiliation. My parents don't rush to get me out. My mother says, maybe I should sit with what happened for a while. My father sends one text that just says, unbelievable. Company freezes everything. No severance, no support. Public defender ends up handling my case because Ms. Franklin made sure Meridian cut every possible tie. Charges are ugly. 12 counts, invasion of privacy. 6 counts, unlawful recording. Locker room. Angle goes local immediately. Headline on one station. HR executive secretly taped male employees changing. Another one calls me a peeping Tom and pumps. They make me into a deviant, not a reformer, not even a villain with ideals, just a freak. Lose my job, lose my condo because I can't keep up with rent, lose the leased Audi when the repo truck takes it in broad daylight, eventually plead out because trial would mean all the recordings get dragged through open court. Sentence is 2 years probation, 1,000 hours community service, felony record. 18 months later, be 36F, living in a shared rental with 4 roommates in a rough part of town where the hallway always smells faintly like cabbage and bleach. Work at the DMV. Now not management, not strategy. Window clerk station 4. I renew licenses and hand people number slips. The office is fluorescent purgatory, nothing but buzzing lights, stale air, and angry civilians. My supervisor is a woman named Linda. She is somehow meaner than Vince ever was. Tracks my bathroom breaks, snaps. If I don't smile enough, says, customer-facing energy. Matters. One afternoon, a guy in a tailored suit steps up to my window. Smells like expensive Tom Ford, not Vince, but enough like him to make something in my chest tighten. He drops his paperwork and says, "Hey, sweetheart, can we move this along? I got a meeting." Sweetheart. Old me would have corrected him. Old me would have made eye contact and explained boundaries. Old me would have opened an incident file before lunch. New me sees the felony disclosure box checked on my employment record. New me sees the rent reminder stuck on my phone. New me swallows the anger. It tastes like acid and bile. I put on a smile that feels like lifting wet cement. "Certainly, sir. I just need your signature, right there." He signs, slides the form back. "Thanks, doll. You should smile more. You got a pretty face." Something inside me dies, a little quieter than before. "Have a nice day, sir." I stamp the paperwork. Thunk, thunk. That stamp is the last tiny instrument of authority left in my life. I look up at the clock, 3 p.m. 2 more hours until I can go home to my small room and sit in the silence. I don't record anyone now, don't want transcripts, don't want hidden truth, don't want to know what people say when I'm not around. I already know. I'm the glitch that got removed from the system. That feeling when the patriarchy didn't actually destroy me, my own ego did. That feeling when I kind of miss the espresso bar,